PTSD is a diagnosis that has been around for a long time, since World War II.
Dr. Yasiska Pujols is one of the over 1,600 mental health professionals hired through President Barack Obama's initiative to help soldiers returning from war. She admits many people still don't understand the severe war conditions these soldiers have had to endure.
Overhead fire, mortar attacks, IEDs.
About 20% of the veterans now returning from war are diagnosed with PTSD. But Pujols says there are many more who don't quite meet all of the criteria to be diagnosed as having PTSD, yet still experience many of the symptoms.
It can keep going decades after the initial traumatic experience. We have veterans that are from the Vietnam era coming in for PTSD treatment.
Salvador Castillo, director of the Cameron County Veterans Office, tells Action 4 currently there's 19,500 registered veterans. Of those, about 5,000 are getting treatment right now for PTSD. But it's unknown how many more are suffering without the proper treatment.
A lot of veterans say, well, I don't want to get fired from my job. I hold a job in law enforcement agencies, and if I go and try to get treated for PTSD, they might hold it against me. Or I don't want my family to know.
Treating PTSD is a two-level approach. First, mental health experts work with soldiers on changing the negative view of the world they might have after war. Next, they help soldiers overcome traumatic experiences with a method called prolonged exposure therapy. It's like watching a scary movie again and again.
Over time, it's not as scary anymore.
But Dr. Pujols says the biggest hurdle soldiers in the valley have to overcome is machismo.
Military culture also says emotions aren't important. You have to put those aside or else you risk your life. So we're trying to combat that mentality as well as machismo. You know, I don't need to talk to anybody about my problems. That cultural divide versus getting help